Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right, I think I got it. Okay, I think I got it. I can hear myself, guys. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Can you hear me now, guys? All right, sweet, beautiful. I know nothing about computers, but you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. Toby Passmore says that's it. Does everybody else hear me? Gabe Garrett, can you hear me? Alan Clanton, what's up? Alan Clanton has been my scoreboard good. Devin Young says you good now. Whew, man, I was worried about that. I was thinking I was gonna have to call this baby off, and I didn't want to do that because we got so much to talk about tonight. Let me try to get caught up on everybody, man, because I appreciate you guys bearing with me and staying with me through the audio issues there. All right, Jay Morris, Worth County, going to Atlanta. What's up, Jay? I'm going to try to go back and get some of y'all's comments. I know that we missed a lot of people. So, Jamie Fraley Seeger, what's up, Jamie? You were the first one in the house. Checking in from Camden County, David Bynum Jr., Jamie, Alan Clanton. What's up, Alan? Boy, how about Bowden all over Clinch? I think Alan Clanton called that. By the way, Alan Clanton has been Mr. Scoreboard for me tonight, and I appreciate that. Going to get to that Valdosta-Buford game. It looks like Buford is pulling away in that one. Looks like Buford has gone up now, I think 25-7. We'll go back and check that out. Brad King, what's up? Claudia Noel Maine. Claudia, the Lounge fan, says, hey, I've been told Valdosta's getting beat. Happy face, oh yeah. Claudia is a big-time Lounge fan. So, Claudia, I know that makes you happy, right? All right, we got Kerry Claiborne. Kerry, what's up, Kerry? Kerry, give us an update out there from Bazemore Hyder Stadium. By the way, Kerry is a big Buford fan. Made the trip down on one of, I think, 8 bus fans. Buford brought the house. I mean, they brought the whole village tonight from Buford. And so far, those fans have been treated to a great game, it sounds like, over there at Bazemore Hyder Stadium, which is literally like a stone's throw, or what do they say, as the crow flies. It's about 5 minutes from my house here, where I'm at in Rimerton, Georgia. All right, Buford. All right, Kerry Claiborne. Thank you, brother. Kerry gives us the update. Buford 25-7 over Valdosta, 8:42 left. Now, let me tell you something. I've seen some crazy things happen with Valdosta, really with any high school football game. I've seen crazy things happen. So, not gonna count Valdosta out just yet. However, you're starting now to run out of time if you're Valdosta. Let's see, that is a 20-18. So it's an 18-point lead, 8-16. That's a 3-score game. Either way you look at it. 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversion on both touchdowns, and you'd have to have a field goal. So it's a 3-score game any way you look at it right now with Valdosta and Buford. Looking like Buford's going to take it, but we'll hold on and see. By the way, Worth County has defeated Pepperell. Devin Young says 32-12. Is that a final, Devin? Let us know about that. Sumter and Hateville. Boy, I've had my eye on this game. So Jamie Ledger tells us Sumter and Hateville is tied 18-18. 1 minute left in regulation. Wow, Jamie, have we had not so many games like this, right? This year where games go down to the very end. I mean, and really in these playoffs is what I'm talking about. I mean, we've had some of these great matchups in the playoffs, so you got to love it, right? All right. So James Raymer tells us indeed that game is going to overtime, tied at 18 all. How about that? Carrollton all over North Gwinnett. Okay, wait a minute. So I'm picking up some old scores here. Sorry, guys. Let me get caught up. All right, Carver 33-14 over Burke County. Carver will be going back to the state championship. Look at Carver. I mean, come on, guys. I've been talking about this all year long. I said that this was going to be the year of the repeat. Now, obviously, it didn't work out for Milton. Not going to work out for Grayson. But it looks like Carver got a chance, obviously, to repeat. Bowden got a chance to repeat. Toombs County got a chance to repeat. Who else we still got left? Anyway, that might be about it. But Carver got look, Carver is just – I think Carver can beat anybody in the state. I mean, I will put my money against anybody. I really think they're that good. Devin Young says, yes, sir, that's the final. Appreciate that. Jimmy McGowan, boom, boom, boom. Rams way. Find a way to win. So, Jimmy. So, by the way, I want to mention this on our coaches shows, Worth County's coaches show, and obviously you've got Coach JT Thompson with Roswell. Now, if you don't know, which I'm sure you probably do, so Roswell and let's see who they got now. All right, help me out. Roswell and Thomas County Central will play Thursday night, as will. Now it's like Rome is going to host Gainesville. Those are going to be your two Class 5A semifinals, and they will both be next Thursday, if I understand this correctly. Okay, I think that's the way that's working out. So, man, it's going to be some great football, isn't it, guys? Some great football. Gotta love it. Hebron Christian, boy, they keep rolling. 50-24 final over Greater Atlanta Christian. No real surprise there. So Hebron Christian looks like they're going to be playing whom in the private Class A Division 1, 2A, and 3A private division. Looks like that's going to go Hebron and whom in the state finals in that one. There's Nadir Muse Muhammad, who is always a big contributor to the show. What's up, Nadir? Hebron Christian with a great chance to repeat as well. Yes, you're right. I left them off. Good call, man. Good call on that one, Nadir. You're absolutely right. So let's figure in Hebron Christian, Carver, who else? Hebron Christian, Carver, Toombs, Bowden. So private. Who else is in there? So we got A1, AAD1, AD2, private, and 2A, right? Those are the four that I think will repeat. I think that's it. All right. Gabe Garrett, Toombs 40, Herd 14, final. Toombs all about that repeat. Bring on Worth. Man, what a great game that's going to be, Gabe Garrett. Worth County and Toombs. Wow, man, we got some great. Listen, and you know the state championships are going to be epic, of course. I mean, this is to the victor go the spoils. The two best teams in the state are left standing to play for it all. But yeah, I like that. I like the football. I think this Toombs Worth County game is going to be sensational. It looks like Worth's toughest game was that Gordon Lee game last week, 17-7. But this Pepperell team, which has kind of been a great Cinderella story. Remember, Pepperell was 2-8 last year, and then they come back. 2-8 2 years ago, I believe it was. Is that right, or were they 2-8 last year? Anyway, they've been kind of a bad football team not too long ago, and so I think they started off this year 1-4, 1-3, and so they've done a great job battling back and getting to the semifinals. So we tip our hat to Pepperell, even though you had some of these fans, man, that just did not make it very easy to be pulling for them. I mean, come on. Had a lady, who just again was going back and forth. By the way, what is it right now with social media, guys? I've never seen people getting so upset like what we've had over the last month, and it really has been all season, but. And what I'm talking about is me picking, some of these teams. Like I had picked last week, I had picked Pepperell to lose. And, of course, they won. And, I mean, people just will not leave it alone. First of all, they got on to us for misspelling Pepperell. Okay, and I will beg your forgiveness, if we didn't have a lot of practice on Pepperell, if you get my drift, okay? But not trying to besmirch them. They had a great season. But, I mean, my gosh, man, people are just getting so upset. By the way, speaking of getting upset, did you see where, this is incredible, Gainesville's flag football team involved in a bench-clearing brawl? Yes, I said it, because that's what it was. Well, there was some guy that just took me to task, said, you're just looking for headlines. You're looking for clicks. There was no bench-clearing brawl. Well, look, it don't matter if it's 2 people or 22. Okay? If they leave the bench, that means the bench is cleared, and there's a brawl going out on the field. It's not that hard. It's a bench-clearing brawl. Anyway, People got upset about it, especially a couple of people with that. I don't know if they were Gainesville fans or what. I kind of called them out a little bit on it, so whatever. I'm not losing sleep. All right, here we go. Yeah, Alan Clanton does confirm that they were 2-8 last year. Thanks, Alan. Everyone is starting to take high school sports way too serious as a problem. Alan, you're absolutely right. Alan Clanton, you've hit it right on the head, guys. I love high school sports. I'm as spirited as anybody. I mean, my gosh, we make our living off of high school sports. This is our business. And engagement is everything. But man, I just, some people are just taking it. I don't know what to say. It's kind of disheartening, to be honest with you, because I love promoting the kids, the programs, the coaches, the players. That's what I like. And when you have, I don't know, a combination. It's mainly fans. Grown blank. You know what I'm going to say there. They're grown blank adults. Come on. Will you please get a life? That's what I told one of the guys last night. I said, man, you must not have a life, buddy. Because, just, you're making, again, I had called it a bench clearing brawl because that's what it was. The Gainesville Carver flag football game. That's what it was. And again, I was really kind of putting an emphasis, a play on words, having coming on the heels of course, the bench clearing brawl. You guys know about that. So, anyway, I just can't get over, man, all these people that are just fighting on social media. And just ugly. So, you guys, let's stop it, please. Okay, be passionate. You can make your friendly little arguments, but man, just do not take it to an nth degree like so many people have been. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. Whoa, Kerry Claiborne, look here. All right, Kerry Claiborne, Buford is running away with it, guys. Buford, Kerry Claiborne says our backups are scoring touchdowns now. Buford 39, Valdosta 7. It's all Wolves right now. Great day in the morning. Look out. Wish somebody would crank me up the Buford fight song. I don't know what that is. Kerry Claiborne, can you give us a little taste of that? Dun 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 dun. I don't know if that's. I think that's Valdosta's fight song actually. Look, can't take away from a great season that it was for Valdosta. They did win Region 1 6A. That is, we've talked about it. That is quite the task to give yourself a chance. And they came within one game of playing for a state title coming out of Region 1 6A. That has been a tough thing, as you guys all know. But would not be their game tonight. Would not be their year this week. Look, I don't know about you guys, but I've said it all along. I just thought that Lincoln County going to state, they're 34-0 over Early County. Hank Edwards, thank you for that. I was wondering about that game. So there's another big blowout tonight. Lincoln County all over Early County. Wow. Man, some surprises, to be honest with you guys. Not necessarily that the teams won, but how the margin of victory. Calvary Day over Fellowship Christian 24-7. Fellowship can never get over the hump. You're right. Okay, let me see here we got. All right, Sumter has won the coin toss in the first overtime. All right, so let's keep an eye on Sumter, Hateville Charter. They're in overtime is what we've got. Nadir Muse Muhammad. You have people transferring across the state. Fights, parents sending threats on social media. It's crazy now. It really is. It's gotten out of control in my opinion. Cora Hall. Congrats to Toombs County. What's up, Cora? Brad Phillips. Still watching Hateville at Sumter overtime. Brad, how you doing, man? Hey, Brad, I got a question for you later. If you don't mind, I'll shoot you a DM. Carlos Smith checking in. What are your thoughts on Cook County winning appeal to move down to AA? Yes, in case y'all missed it, thank you for bringing that up, Carlos. Cook County did win their appeal to move down to AA. Remember, they were going to be put in 3A, so they did win their appeal. Look, I think it means a lot. I think right now Cook needs all the advantages that they can get. Look, I think Cook's got a great team. I think they've got the talent. I think Byron Slack is the coach. Something is missing there. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I'm all about the coaches. I'll say this. I think no, I don't think, but I know. When they lost Jackson Dean, the former offensive coordinator, of course, he ups and goes to Berry, and we saw what he did there, right? Pardon me, guys. When you talk for 2 hours straight, gotta wet the whistle. Little ginger ale. There we go. All right, so Jackson Dean leaves Cook, and I can remember my buddy Dr. Mike McCartney talking about saying, "Hey, look, this is not going to be good for our program." And it turned out he was right. I thought the Cook offense was very stagnant this year. They've got one of the best young running backs in Dawson Davis. He'll be back. Almost everybody on that Cook team will be back. And I think the last 2 years has been, youth has been the problem. I mean, it's not, it's a good thing, but when you're young, sometimes it takes the players a little while to grow up, and so it looks like that's what they're having to do at Cook. But anyway, I think it's a good move, Carlos. All right, Brad Phillips. Hateville scores 7 on the first possession in overtime. Come on, Toombs. Come on, Toombs County. Let's get it done now. Come on. Uh-oh. Hateville scores on the first play of overtime. Extra point is no good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's going on? Alan Clanton says not to be this guy, but odds Valdosta starts brawl after this game. I don't think so, man. I don't think it's going to happen. Alan, but I listen, you never know, right? Oh, my gosh. Darn it. Shoot, man. Sumter has fumbled and lost. Darn it. Man, I was really pulling. Some of these losses, you can tell obviously who I'm a fan of, right? Some of these losses hit me hard. That one hit me hard. I was really pulling for Coach and Sumter. Daggum. Sumter fumbles, second down in overtime. Bless the young man's heart. I have no idea who it is, but that stuff there that will gnaw on you and eat on you. I hate that. So Hateville recovers. Hateville goes on to the state championship. Hateville wins 24-18. Darn it. Well, congratulations to Hateville. All right. Darn it. All right. Anyway, hey, that's water under the bridge now, or what? Spilled milk, whatever. So no need in crying about it. Nadir Muse Muhammad, congratulations to Hateville as Atlanta Public School with a chance of winning state. Yeah, that is a rarity, and I'm glad you pointed that out. Nadir, Atlanta Public School, you don't see a lot of those that still have a chance to win. So that's a good feel-good story for sure, Hateville Charter. Kerry Claiborne. Kerry is having a blast. Listen, Kerry Claiborne, Brooks County fan, he enjoyed his bus ride down. They had the big fan bus coming down all the way from Buford. Had about 8 of them, I think. And Kerry was having a blast coming down. He's having a blast at the game. He's sending me laughing emojis all over the place. Hey, Valdosta's trying to score a touchdown on our JV. I love it. Kerry's just having a blast. Boom, bing, bomb. Go, Buford, go. I love it. But, hey, Kerry is going to have a blast going back. Kerry, you got to get that bus driver to stop at Buc-ee's now. That's just sacrilegious. I mean, he can't go past the Warner Robins exit and not stop at Buc-ee's, by golly. Come on. All right, Kerry Claiborne. Instead, our JV recorded our 4th. Oh, how about that? 4th interception tonight in the end zone. Kerry Claiborne says so. Valdosta getting it handed to him tonight, it sounds like, at home against the superior Buford Wolves. Great win for Bryant Appling. Jeannie Asbell. Did Langston Hughes' wife finally play their game? I don't know what that means exactly. Let's see here. Toby Passmore. You think Hughes is glad Gainesville is at full strength, asking for a friend? Yeah, it's boy, there's going to be some jokes on that one, right? Probably not, Toby. In case, of course, you haven't heard, Gainesville is all over Hughes tonight. Wow, I'm a little bit shocked at that one, to be honest with you. I thought Hughes was going to get it done. So now we have to ask, guys, when we look at all of this back and forth, I really thought it was either going to have a negative effect on Gainesville or it was going to have a galvanizing effect on Gainesville. And as it turned out, it had a galvanizing effect on Gainesville. I thought, there was going to be so many distractions with Gainesville that, you were just going to have, fans were not going to be engaged, players were not going to be engaged, and obviously Gainesville proved to be wrong. Okay, so much for that theory. So congratulations to Gainesville. Congratulations to the coaching staff, the administration, athletic director Adam Lindsay. It's just a great job by Gainesville withstanding having to battle, and they fought for all they could get. And they succeeded. So you got to give them props, guys. Gainesville went, they wouldn't settle for just the mere first suspension. They said, nope, we're not going to take it. And this is going to be one of these textbook cases that people will look back on for a long time. And I'm going to tell you this is not over. You got to wonder now if Hughes is going to come out and have some kind of appeal. I don't know what. But it's something to keep an eye on, and we will certainly be keeping an eye on it here from our ITG Next headquarters in Valdosta. Evan Reese says, Big Evan, he is the big Roswell guy. Evan Reese, who, by the way, your team will play, Thursday, right? In Thomas County Central. Evan Reese says, in Gainesville's defense, Hughes fans were talking trash. They wanted Gainesville to be at full form, and they would whoop them. Well, all right, Buford has won. It is final at Bazemore Hyder. Really not even as close as the score would indicate. All Buford tonight. Buford 39, Valdosta 7 in a game that was not even that close. So congratulations to the Buford Wolves. Chloe Adcock Del Toro, Worth County here. What a night. Absolutely, Chloe. What's the final over there in Sylvester with that game, please, if you could? By the way, Kerry, I got that final, man, 39-7. I love it. Fred Nelson Jr. What's up, Fred? Fred says Langston Hughes was playing really well in the first half. Overall, a good game. Thanks for that report. Anybody else got anything on that game or any other games, guys? Please let us know. If you were at games tonight, let us know how the games went, how they flowed, first half, second half. Break it down for us. This is exactly what we do here, guys. We want to exchange ideas and game stories and how they give us some inside information as to how this team did, that team did, and we will definitely be indebted to you for sure. Okay, all right. So let's see here. Alan Clanton, not George High School football, but how about, yes. Oh, so I forgot to talk about this. Guys, so from 9:30 till about 10, right at 10 o'clock, I was on the phone with Rush Probst. It was Rush, his wife, Stephanie, and it sounded like they may have had one of their sons in the back seat. They were in the car. They were leaving the stadium, the facilities there, where they had just won the state title. And Rush was in a good mood. But I gave him a few minutes. I wanted him to get in his car and get his wits about him, And so once he did, he called me back. And he was just as, again, very calm, polite. They just wanted to say championship. I want to give him about an hour and get it out of his system. He did. And so with that, Rush is, now got to figure out what the next step is going to be. By the way, I don't know how many of you guys saw. I wrote a story because I interviewed Rush at the beginning of this week, back on Monday. I actually interviewed him on Sunday over the weekend. But I interviewed him talking about, hey, what's the next step? Okay. So he put out there the possibilities of coming back to Georgia. Okay. And he said it more than once. So you had the AJC, and you had Score Atlanta, and you had Rivals, You guys know about Rivals, 24/7 Rivals, and Ad3, or is it 3.com? Big college football recruiting service. They trying to think. I think they own Born to Compete, if I'm not mistaken. That's on3.com. It's Rusty Manziel's company. They do a great job. Fantastic job. Anyway, those guys and the AJC, Jack Leo of the AJC, they both picked up my story on Rush earlier this week. They gave me the credit, full credit, as they should. Well, then, we all exchange stories, and we all, kind of contribute to different things going on. And so that's what I had asked Score Atlanta folks to do. Hey, just give me credit for the quotes you lifted, and they never have. And that kind of bothers me, to be honest with you. It's an editorial integrity thing, usually. If you are picking up on somebody else's story, then usually you give credit to that particular story. That's what I would do. In other words, hey, according to the Albany Herald, John Smith, who reports for the Herald, is saying that blah, 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 blah. That's how you do it. You just don't come in and say, according to a local reporter, Coach Jeff Littleton is taking the Tiff County, just stuff like that. There's an editorial integrity thing where you go about things the right way. And that's one thing I don't think Score Atlanta is doing a very good job of. In this case, anyway. Okay, so just kind of wanted to get that off my chest. All right, so let me get back to the scores here, guys. But I did want to let you know I talked to Rush for 30 solid minutes tonight, just coming off the field there at Prevention Field, home of University of Alabama Birmingham. And so beautiful stadium. They got a lot of good things going on over there. But Rush was just leaving the stadium when he and I interviewed earlier, and I want to thank Rush for taking time out right after winning the state championship game to talk with me. And again, he talked about what his next choices are. Now, let me say this. Several of you have been reporting Rush coming to Irwinville. Somebody on one of the South Georgia high school football websites had put, or the South Georgia page, I should say. Rush, you heard it here first. Rush is coming to blah, blah, blah. Rush is coming to Irwin County. No, he's not. Okay, I heard it from the man himself. So, take all that out. He's not coming to Bainbridge. Okay, Rush is not sure. Let me rephrase it. He's not sure what he's going to do right now. Okay, all those may be possibilities that I just mentioned, but Rush has not promised anybody anything. Rush told me tonight that he may be coming back to. He may very well be coming back to Coosa Christian. Okay, so that certainly is going to be a possibility. Rush kind of took the job this year at Coosa Christian based on an interim basis because obviously the former coach did not work out. Things did not work out with him. So the Coosa Christian, I think, and Rush decided to have a 1-year contract and kind of a trial period. And Rush said, hey, look, I'll give it one shot, and let's see how things go. And if things go well, I may consider staying. Well, obviously things went well, didn't it? So now Rush's got to go back to the drawing table and find out what they want to do. And it could be where Rush decides to stay. Money's got to be right. And but we'll see. So right now there are no guarantees, but all these wild stories on Facebook and Rush is coming to Irwin. Rush is going to Bainbridge. No, not right now. Nothing. No, not happening. All right. So I just want to kind of make sure that if you ever want the truth about things and you want to dispel rumors, which is what they are, come to this guy. Come to ITG next. Okay, we've got the plan. We, as the kids say, we know what time it is. All right, let's move on. Anyway, so that's what kind of got me talking about that. Alan Clanton's, another high school state championship for Rush. By the way, that was his first Alabama state championship in 20 years. That was my story that I had written back earlier in the week. Had talked about going for his first state championship in Alabama in 20 years, and here he is. He got it. So congratulations, Rush. All right, Chloe Adcock Del Toro gives us a score for somebody. Who is that? Not sure. All right, Nadir Abuse Muhammad, Jefferson over West Lawrence. So Jefferson will advance to the state championship. West Lawrence, the victim, 17-13. Boy, West Lawrence, is his name Ty Cummings? Great little running back. Probably one of the best kept secrets in the state. Did a good job for running for West Lawrence. Brad Chatham, Jefferson defense comes up for the win, 17-13. All right, so we got Jefferson. Chandler Moore, Worth game could have been a whole lot worse. 2 picks in the red zone and a bad snap on the goal line. So how about that? So a couple of things it sounds like that Jeff Hammond and Worth County want to work on, right? All right, Andrew Watkins. What's up, Andrew? Carrollton wins and advances to the Benz and will play Buford. Wow, what a game that's going to be. And once again, here we are. No South Georgia representation for the state championship. Let me say a couple of things. All right, so you've got the state title. And again, I've been talking about this all year long. What's it going to take for a South Georgia team to get back to the state championship? Okay. Like Rush and Jeff Herron said, you've either got to be more talented, or if you don't have more talent than the teams up north, well, by golly, you have got to find you some players. Big secret, right? Easier said than done. Now, Jeff Herron had said you got to do something different. If you don't have the better talent, we got to do something different. Rush, of course, implements the nutrition program. That was something different. They weren't doing that, right? Jeff Herron, of course, he brings in the nutrition program. I'm sorry. That's Rush's deal. Jeff Herron brings in the triple option. So what was everybody else doing? The spread offenses and this and that? Well, Jeff Herron says, hey, by golly, we're going to run the spread. We're going to run the triple option. So better players, do something different. Either one. And it obviously worked out for those two programs. And when you had Camden County running the triple option. So anyway, that's that situation there as far as not having any South Georgia teams in the state championship. And I'm talking about 6A, okay? Now, and we're not going to get too far off this, but the Corky Kell Classic. Have you guys paid attention the last couple of years? Used to have several South Georgia teams in it. That has gone by the wayside. Okay, so I don't know what the story is. I think they got to sell at Mercedes-Benz. You've had up to this point, I think you've had to sell 2,000 minimum seats. Okay, I think that was the deal. You had to sell a minimum of 2,000 tickets for the Corky Kell, and if teams couldn't sell them, they had to eat them, had to pay for them. So that's a little bit tough. And so anyway, that is the latest there on my soapbox anyway. The Corky Kell. It's basically turned into a Metro Atlanta Classic is what it is. I mean, let's call it what it is. So, anyway. Just had to get that one off my chest. All right, Brad Chatham. I think I mentioned this one earlier. Brad, your score on Jefferson. Andrew Watkins had given me the Carrollton win. Absolutely. Carrollton wins. They move on to Buford next week at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Well, it's going to be a good one, isn't it? Brad Phillips, I can't remember if I ran this one yet or not, Brad. I'm glad Gainesville was allowed to have the players who didn't participate in the fight as they dominated Langston Hughes tonight 37-16. So is that final, by the way? Benedictine 28, Marist 20. Great game. Wow, it sounds like it was. Here's another guy. Alan Chadwick from Marist. How long has he been the head coach there? Like 30-something years? Amazing guy. Him and Jeff Herron are just alike. Have you guys ever met in the city? A lot of similarities there, for sure. Jeff Herron, quiet, not a rah-rah guy. Alan Chadwick, kind of the same way. Yeah, they're ball coaches, man. That's all that is. They're ball coaches, right? All right. So Fred Nelson, thank you for that update on Benedictine Marist. I'm assuming that is the final, by the way, Fred. Here's the fired football coaches of Georgia. What's up, guys? Preaching to the choir. Score Atlanta never gives source credit on anything I've posted. Wow. Fired football coaches of Georgia. I'm glad I'm not alone on that, man. Thank you for that, for having my back on that. Thank you very much. I'm glad I'm not alone. I really am. Okay, Brad Phillips, Benedictine over Marist, 28-20. Toombs 40-14 over Herd. Worth to the Benz. To the Victor, to the Worth Rams, go the Benz. And of course, Worth 32-12 over Pepperell tonight. But what a great season, and not over yet for Brooks County, for Toombs County, for Benedictine. I know it's Benedictine. I just like to shorten it up a little bit. Carver Columbus to the Benz, says Brad Phillips. Thank you for that, Brad. Alan Clanton, Player of the Week nominee. Caden Protho, 4 total touchdowns versus Clinch. Absolutely. By the way, if you guys have another Player of the Week nominee, please send the player's name to me and the real stats. Okay? Not, well, I think he ran for 390 yards, and I think he carried the ball 14 times. I need complete stats, guys. Okay? Or they're not going to make it. So just remember. All right, Daniel Clayton. Valdosta sent him packing with that cheating scandal. Who are you talking about there, Daniel? Who are you talking about there? Just curious, Daniel Clayton. Daniel Clayton. Let me know. All right. Jamarian Dumas 13 tells me Valdosta 7 versus Buford 39. Ouch. Jacob Evans comes on and says, what about Worth County? Worth County is bringing state. Yeah, you're right. Now, and what I was really talking about, Jacob, was the larger classifications. Okay, that's what I was inferring earlier, and I should have been clear on that. Yeah, I get it. So you've got obviously your smaller classifications with Irwin County and who else we got? Irwin County, and then you've got. I'm drawing a blank here. Anyway, yes, there are more teams in South Georgia that have won in vying for a state title, but what I meant was the higher classifications of where it seems to be more elusive. Okay, so I beg your pardon on the actual classification, but it was, and I was talking about, and it's really 6A. If you want to get down to it. I think Thomas County Central obviously is going to have another year. They're going to be on track to win another state title coming from South Georgia, of course. That is 5A Thomas County Central. And then you got 4A, which really, I don't know. 4A, you got mostly, I don't think you got too many South Georgia teams in there, right? So 4A, you got, Benedictine. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you consider Benedictine, i.e. Savannah, do you consider Savannah a South Georgia school? I don't. Benedictine is coastal Georgia. That's the way I look at it. South Georgia to me is Southern Georgia. Just kind of the way I look at it, guys. All right. So. Creekside and, was it Creekside and Kell? How about Creekside and Wynn? Guys, they're just automatic, aren't they? They're just automatic. Creekside, I think, Alan Clanton told me Creekside won 35, I think 35-13 or something like that. Man, what a great run, though, for Kell. Great run for Kell, the Longhorns. But, I'll be honest with you, I never really thought that Kell had a shot in this game. And again, it's one of them things where Creekside is just one of those teams that's head and shoulders above everybody else. Creekside, just plowing over everybody. Creekside, you've got as we mentioned earlier. We thought it was going to be Hughes that was playing a really dominant style of football, but not so fast. Now it's going to look like Gainesville will represent. And, of course, that is 5A. And they, again, will play the winner of the Rome Thomas County. No, that's not right. I'm getting mixed up here. I can't keep it straight. So they will play who? All right. So in 5A, you've got Rome is going to now play Gainesville, and Thomas County Central and Roswell will play each other. So you got a chance there of a Thomas County Central winning that game, and remember that semifinals. And I think both those semifinal games are going to be played next Thursday night. Am I right about that, guys? Somebody help me out, if you will. Cross-check me on that, as they say. Nadir Muse Muhammad says, thoughts on South Georgia's performance. Worth County and Benedictine might be the only South Georgia teams that win state unless Bowden is upset. Yeah, good point. And that's kind of what I've been saying, Nadir, for the last few minutes. I think pretty much says it all, at least what you're wanting to know, right? Evan Reese, what do you think about Roswell? Going to go down to Thomas County Central and do it for a second time, not consecutive time, but a second time. Alan Clanton, I think South Georgia teams just refuse to play in the games. Now, I guess you're talking about the Corky Kell games, right? Yeah, and I think that's a part of it. I mean, again, it's a good showcase event. However, you got to ask, is it beneficial to us to do that? That's the issue. Okay, so listen, these schools, they need to make a little bit of money. Brad Phillips says yes, those games will be next Thursday, and the finals will be the following Wednesday. Thank you for that, Brad. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you very much. And Brad, again, I got a question for you, not related to the show. I'll send you a DM here shortly. If that's okay. All right. So that Hughes game is not final yet, says Evan Reese. It's currently Gainesville 40, Hughes 24. Thank you for that clarification. So that's not over yet. Casey Hammond, go Jefferson Dragons. Yeah, they're having a great year. The Jefferson Dragons. All right. Who else we got here? Alan Clinton. No. Definitely don't neither in Camden County. All right, so I think you're talking about answering the question about South Georgia, right? Evan Reese, in Gainesville's defense, Hughes fans were okay. So we talked about that one earlier. All right, so Kerry Claiborne tells us that it has gone final over at Bazemore Hyder Stadium. We do have a final from Bazemore Hyder Stadium, and it goes the way of the Buford Wolves. Buford all over Valdosta tonight, 39-7 in a game really wasn't even that close. Chloe Adcock, Del Toro, Worth County here. What a night. And absolutely. Let's see here. Chloe Adcock, Del Toro giving us that final on Worth County, 32-12. Yep. Nadir Muse Muhammad, Jefferson over West Orange. I think I'm getting to some repeat here, guys. Sorry about that. Alan Clanton says, heck no, Benedictine is not in South Georgia. I got you. And again, the answer to that question is South Georgia. Does it include Savannah? I don't think it does either. A lot of people would differ with us, I promise you that. Brooks County was in the championship game recently, says Brad Phillips. Perry and Warner Robins were in the title game recently. Brad Phillips. Yes, those games are next Thursday. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Repeating some of these. Maybe I should read the answer or the question before I blurt it out, right? Okay. So, all right. So, Evan Reese, who's a big Roswell fan, says Gainesville wins over Hughes 40-32. So, I'm assuming that's final. All right. Gina Kimberlin Lotus, streaming link in my bio. Let's see here. Nathan Sloan, it was 11-7 in third, Phil. Buford led. Yep. Well, yeah, so I guess you're saying that because I said the game really wasn't that close as I thought. So I'll stand corrected. Let me back up. I just felt like after Buford got the lead, was it 11-0? And like Nathan Sloan said, they did cut it to 11-7. I guess what I meant was, Alan, was that I just didn't feel like it was going to be that tight of a game. I guess is what I was saying. But you're right. It was 11-7 in the third, Nathan. So I stand corrected. I will. All right, Nathan. Let me ask you this, Nathan. Are you surprised by how this game turned out between Buford and Valdosta? I mean, I don't know, guys. Look, I think Valdosta has got the talent. I want to be careful. I want to be careful what I say here. I think Valdosta has got super talent. I think they've got a great feeder system. I think they have got a lot of good kids just waiting their turn, and their turn will come. But I just got this feeling that Valdosta is going to be good for some time, and I think these younger kids coming up, and Valdosta's program is just, I think the pipeline is pretty full. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I mean, they got a lot of good, smart kids. Oh, good, smart kids, good, athletically gifted kids is what I'm trying to say. Rosser Sutherland has made it into the show. What's up, Rosser? Big not Brunswick, but a big Marietta fan. Boy, you guys have, and look, Rosser, and for you other guys in here, it's really time to reflect, isn't it, on how good a season y'all had. And I'm talking about anybody out there who had a good season. If you did not have a good season, you know what they always say, wait till next year, right? So, and I know you're pretty interested in that, you guys are pretty interested in that Gainesville situation. If you haven't heard, they lost their, remember they had actually been approved to switch regions. Gainesville had been. You guys going to have to help me out with the numbers here. So Gainesville was going to go. It was more or less a lateral move. They were going to move from region, was it 8, 7A, to, I'm trying to remember what the other region was. It would have been a lighter, a little bit less competitive region. And they had I'm trying to think, they had a situation, did Gainesville, where they were going to switch regions, and it was going to be much less competitive than the one they're in now. Obviously, you've got, with Gainesville, you got Roswell. Gainesville. Who else is in that region? So there was the new region that they were going into had appealed that, hey, they need to be moved back out. So GHSA heard that appeal, and surprise, surprise, GHSA said, yep, you're going back in your old region, Gainesville. Now, was there any bad blood there? Maybe. I don't know. But I think you may be, if you're Gainesville, you've got to expect that. I think you've got to expect that you're not going to get any favors from the GHSA anytime soon. That's just my opinion. Now, of course, there's got to be something there. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. And again, in this case, it was just a matter of Gainesville. Gainesville was it was determined that they belonged in region 7-5A. I think they were trying to go to 8-5A, if I'm not mistaken, guys. Maybe somebody can correct me on that. It would have put them, like I said, in a region much more beneficial for most of their major programs: basketball, girls, boys basketball, baseball, that kind of thing. Anyway, so I say all that to say Gainesville now is, maybe I should say they remain, is the easiest way to put it. So
They were going to the new region. Now they're not. So Gainesville will remain in Region 5. Is that right? No, 7. It's Region 7, 5A. There we go. All right. Easy for me. Okay, Shannon Moore says, I thought the score was going to be closer. I'd ask you guys about what you thought about the Gainesville, or I'm sorry, the Valdosta Buford score. I thought the game, the score was going to be closer. Shannon Moore says those 2 interceptions really hurt Valdosta. Yeah, Shannon, so those come early in the game, did they not? I think that's right. I think they come early in the game. And I believe they really hurt scoring drives for Valdosta, if I remember correctly. My buddy, again, Luke Nelson, a.k.a. Big Buford, who checks into the show a lot. Kerry Claiborne, who was a buddy of mine. Kerry, his daughter is in the Buford marching band. He made the trip tonight. And by the way, Kerry is also the PA announcer for the Buford Wolves home games. But Kerry does a good job of keeping up with stats and different things. And he was giving me an update on the ball game. And he said that, Buford had a couple of big-time interceptions. And I think that's the same one, obviously, that Shannon Moore's talking about. So, and again, at least one of them turned into a scoring play, as they're supposed to be. All right. So, let me look here. All right, Nathan Sloan. No, I'm not surprised about the Buford game, but if anybody can stop Carrollton, it will be Buford. Now, that will be quite the matchup, won't it? So, if you're just joining us, Carrollton wins easily over North Gwinnett. I was a little surprised at the ease they had with Eric Godfrey's Bulldogs. I know Alan Clanton and I were talking earlier. He thought that was going to be. He thought exactly what happened was going to happen. So, Buford, Carrollton went out meeting the 6A finals. 5A again, still to be determined because we've got the semifinal game coming up on Thursday. Both semifinal games now. Remember, the Gainesville-Hughes game, okay? I think there's some people getting confused. The Gainesville-Hughes game was the quarterfinal matchup, okay? So, just getting that clear with everybody's situation. All right. Nathan Sloan. Okay, so I already read that one. Roster Sutherland. Gainesville appealed to be in 8-6A, but then moved them back into 7-6A. That's right. And I do keep forgetting that the regions are all moving up a number too. So 5A becomes 6A, 6A becomes 7A, etc. So thank you for that. Alan Clanton. Gainesville, Roswell, Milton, second tier, Johns Creek, Lanier, and I forgot the other school. Yes, that's right. In the new 8 or 7-6A. Yes, so I was talking about that earlier. Roster Sutherland. In case you missed it, Gainesville, and I posed this with the not again. I said, you've got to be kidding me with Gainesville. One moment. All right, not sure what's happening here. Phone's freezing up. All right, anyway. So let's take a look. I forgot exactly where I was at. Oh yeah. So talking about the Gainesville. So I was turned on to this, by the way. Fired coaches from Georgia had brought this to my attention last night. Hey, did you see this? And it was the Gainesville and Carver Columbus flag football teams involved in a bench clearing brawl. Now, that's the way I spelled it. That's the way I put it out there. I put it out on our social media pages last night, Facebook really, and it upset some people. hey, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just doing this for clicks. You're just trying to create a story where there's not. No, actually, I thought it was an interesting story on the heels of the Gainesville football team being being suspended and all that. So I thought it was so eerie, right? That you got the football team, now you got the flag football team being involved in a skirmish. Anyway, some folks had an issue with me putting it out there as a bench clearing brawl. He said, no, that's not what happened. Well, it's the way it looked to me. Anyway, so yeah, we saw that roster for sure. So anyway, we got the state championship. So let's move on. We got the state championship games now coming up. I think we're all settled with our semifinals except for Class 5A. What does Gainesville winning tonight, man, what does that do? You want to talk about a huge shot in the arm for their program? I mean, this means everything, guys. Everything. Everything. I mean, it's just incredible. So you had Josh Niblett at Gainesville, struggled a little bit last year. Remember, he got put out in the first round of the playoffs by Sequoia, okay? Let's don't forget that. So he struggled a little bit. Obviously, you go out in the first round, not good. And, obviously you get picked back up now, Gainesville, and you're having a good year this year. They were okay this year. They lost to Carrollton pretty bad. And then Gainesville loses to Roswell. Okay. So you're thinking that here we go, it's going to be a long all season for Gainesville. Well, they come up and they get the surprise win. And I'm trying to remember who that was late in the season. You guys help me out. So Gainesville really had to play. My point being that Gainesville played well down the stretch. And now, lo and behold, here they are picking up steam at just the right time. Big win over Hughes. That's huge, guys. I'm telling you. Nobody was giving Gainesville a chance. And I will be honest with you, I had picked Hughes, I believe, in my pick six. Which, by the way, this week, and you guys got to go check out the rest of our pick six. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Gainesville, is what I'm saying. Be very interesting. Do they have a chance to go all the way? Again, this whole thing with the GHSA, I said it was going to have one effect or the other. It was going to have this galvanizing, let's come together kind of effect, or it was going to be just the opposite, and it looks like it's been just the opposite. All right. All right, so let's see here. Okay, Juancimo Villalobos. What's going on, Phil? What's happening, my friend? Big win over Langston Hughes tonight. Go B-Red as always. Absolutely, man. That's what we're talking about. Gainesville has huge. Juancimo, let me ask you this. As a Gainesville Red Elephants fan, did the whole shenanigans and everything involved with the suspensions, the fight, et cetera, I mean, what kind of effect did that have within the football program and really the athletic program? Just kind of curious, looking for an insider standpoint on things. So let me know about that one, Simo. Just kind of interested to hear. And I'll say this: Gainesville has been very professional. Adam Lindsay, the athletic director, always answers my questions, and so I think that it's interesting to hear from the guys who are on the inside. And again, that would be Juancimo Villalobos. That would be you as a Gainesville superfan. All right, 11:09 on this Friday night, semifinal Friday night. What a night it has been. Incredible. Mitchell Dormady. Mitchell, have you jumped in here, my man? Mitchell Dormady's got his own show now. My own show. All right. Just looking at different stuff here on my phone, guys. Bear with me. Just bear with me. All right. Going back here to some of the comments that we've got. I'm trying to remember, and I don't have them in front of me, darn it. I want to go this week instead of pick six like I normally do. I picked six, I think, was it 16 games? I picked all of the semifinals, and I wish I had them in front of me. That's what I was looking for. All right, Wansimo. All right, sorry, I already saw that. Tyrone Bell, what's up, Tyrone? Let me hear from you guys. If you're new to the show, Xavier Jackson, what's going on, man? I want to hear from you guys. So we're down to 2 coaches shows left. Jeff Hammond, Worth County. They come up big tonight. Big winner, chicken dinner. And then you've got, again, the other coaches show, Worth County Rams, and Coach Jeff Hammond as our 2 remaining coaches. Worth County 32-12 final. And let me say this too. So, guys, some of the Pepperell fans got on our case. Myself and Anna. Anna, as you guys know, works for us, and she and I work together with the company, and we really make a good team. Anna does a lot of the graphics that you guys see, which I think we've got the best graphics of anybody. That stands out. It jumps out, grabs your attention, and it induces engagement. And if you see a great-looking graphic, that's Anna. Anna Limoges. She does all that. And sometimes when she's doing these graphics, we get bogged down in different things. Anyway, I think she misspelled Pepperell or something. And, boy, people got so upset about that. Just misspelling Pepperell. Instead of being grateful about the win, as you should have been, and that's where all your focus went, be happy that you got the victory. That was, to me, that was the whole thing about it. Come on, you're making a mountain out of a molehill for sure. All right, let's see. Wansimo Villalobos talking about the season for Coach Niblett. Wansimo says it brought the team closer together. Gainesville has always been an athletic program who does the right thing. Unfortunately, sometimes things get out of control. Now, I can agree that the girls' flag football scrum was totally their fault. This is not what Gainesville is about. I got to be honest with you. I saw the video, and again, it was part of the highlights that I posted last night on social media. But I really couldn't tell who started it. And that really wasn't even the gist of my article or the story. It was just, hey, here we go again. So really didn't look at or find out or really kind of discertain anything other than there was just a fight there. So I really didn't know how it started. So you know more than I do on that one. Kenneth Fleming, what's up, Phil? It's going to be an awesome atmosphere in the Jackets Nest next week. Oh, can you imagine? So I have already heard from a couple of people talking about how loud it is with the Jackets fans. Tyrone Bell is in the house. Do you still think Savannah Christian is better than Calvary? Did I say that? I can't remember. I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I really don't know. Things change. Things just change. Jose Padilla has made it into the house. Jose Padilla, how is everyone? How are you, Phil? Jose, I'm doing great, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody that has made it to the show is doing well. We will do another show. Look, we'll keep going. We'll talk some football. Ain't got a problem with it. I love these Friday night shows, by the way. Jermaine Wyatt asking about the Red Devils. That's the Bowden. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, it could be the Bowden Red Devils, right? Or Lincoln County Red Devils. I knew this would be coming. Kerry Claiborne takes the first big shot at from Buford to Gainesville. It's going to be the shot heard on I-75. Kerry Claiborne says Bazemore Hunter Stadium has been renamed to Philip Beard Stadium South. Oh, ouch. Oh, that's a dagger. I love it. Juancito Villalobos says this Gainesville team is different. We don't care if we're the underdog or not. We just want the opportunity to compete at a higher level. I think it's a fair statement. All right, again, trying to get some of these comments to refresh here, and we'll check out some more of the comments that are coming in. All right. Shane Morgan. Shane, what's up? Shane says, seen earlier that Rush won another state title in Alabama today. What's your guess on what's next for him? Coming back to Georgia, where would you like to see him? Okay, so Shane, I actually talked about this earlier. So I talked to Rush tonight from 9:30 right until it was time to start this show at 10 o'clock. I told him I had to go, and I've got it right there. I record all my conversations. So that is that's the recording of mine and Rush's conversation. And if you may ask, why do you record? Because I can go back and transcribe everything a lot better and easier than if I'm trying to listen to him and write while he's talking. Okay, so I've got the recording from our previous conversation today. It was about 5:30 to 6 o'clock. If you read the story back at the first of the week, and I want you guys to hear me on this one. This is about Rush. So when I wrote the story back first of the week, Rush was talking about how he had his competitive juices were flowing. He was ready to go. He was ready to keep coaching. Look, this state championship, and you got to remember, those words he told me was on Monday before the game. They had simply made it to the state title game, had not won it yet. Now, he was a little concerned going into tonight's game. Said that I think the lack of conditioning, because they only got like 15 players. He said that may hurt us, and tonight it did not. But it's a thing, okay? It's just the way it is. So, all right, I'm just trying to look here at some of the other banks, or some of the other questions rather. Alan Clanton. Well, hang on a second here real quick. Let me get some of this. All right, real quick, like on Rush. So Rush had told me, looking at some of the comments here, said he is very glad to be back coaching. His competitive juices are flowing in. Asked him about South Georgia. Now, in the first story that I wrote on Monday, Rush talked then to me, said, I will not rule South Georgia out. I've got a couple of grandkids over here, and he does. He wants to be closer to them. And I think he's got other grandkids that are also, I think, in Georgia. He's got some in Alabama too. Anyway, Rush said he's got very much a fondness for South Georgia. He made that perfectly clear. Not only in the first story I wrote him on Monday, but in today's conversation tonight. He's very fond of South Georgia. You can hear it in his voice. He wants to come back. Now, I asked him about Irwin County because all the rumors are out there about, hey, Rush is coming to Irwin. Rush is being seen in Fitzgerald. That's not happening. Okay, people were putting the rumor out there, and it's not happening. So just be just know that. All right. So Rush is going to give it a few days. He's going to talk about his options. Him and Stephanie, his wife, going to talk about what they want to do. Here's what it's going to come down to. Rush loves to coach, but somebody's going to have to write the check. Somebody's going to have to come up with the big bucks. I think Rush, you got to realize, this is one of the smallest teams Rush has ever coached. And it's not a situation where Rush doesn't really particularly care to coach at the smaller schools. It's just obviously the resources and the money that they have to give is a little bit less. Okay, So that's the only problem that he's got. Yeah, so he does want to coach. He does want to keep coaching. He said that. He told me that tonight. He said, I want to keep coaching. He said, I'm going to give it a few days and I'm going to talk about what I want to do. Me and Stephanie, we're going to talk about it. This was Rush. And he said, I'm going to make a decision. I think some people in South Georgia are putting the hard press on him, for sure. I think he's had some conversations with some people. Nothing have gotten to the serious point yet. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be a smaller program. I don't think. I think Rush has done that. I think Rush wants to go back to the bigger program where we can bring in good assistants, pay them well. And again, that's kind of my take of what Rush was telling me, kind of in between the lines. And I'll have that complete story written up probably next couple of days on Rush and what's next for Rush, and so be looking out for that on our website and our social media. Okay, all right. Now, Tyrone Bell, you put them ahead in your poll all year. Who are you talking about there? All right, Alan Clanton says, state championship picks, AD1 Bowden over Lincoln. Yeah, probably so. Probably so. All right. Let me see here. Look at some of the comments coming in here. Chandler Moore, early thoughts, predictions on Worth versus Toombs. I got to tell you, man, I like Toombs a lot. I like Worth County a lot. It's really a coin flip right now. And I'm not trying to chicken out. I just do not know. I think those teams are so even, Steven, and they like to put up points, and so I don't know. Talking about the state championship games, guys, looking at some predictions. Jermaine Wyatt, Red Devil for Pete. Talk about the Red Devils. We want 4 in a row. Well, yeah. See, I've been saying that all year. I don't think people are giving credit where credit's due, and that's Bowden going for 4 in a row. And I think that's what you meant for Pete's sake. I'm assuming that's what you meant. Red Devil for Pete talk. Red Devils for Pete's sake. Talk about the Red Devils. We want 4 in a row. Okay, buddy, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you some Red Devils. So Bowden, first of all, Rich Finley is one of the best coaches around. Great coach. And that's, again, all the great ones, what do all the great ones have in common? They kind of walk softly, talk softly. Now, Rush is kind of the exception. I get it. But Jeff Herron, Jonathan Guess, Sean Calhoun, I'm just trying to think of all these coaches who have really not been rah-rah guys. Those are the ones that are the most successful. Now, again, you have your you have your exceptions for sure, but usually those are the guys that you don't mind going to see out the door. So, going to be interesting to see though what happens there. But Rush will, wherever he goes, he's going to have a staff. That's for sure. All right, but I like Rich Finley a lot at Bowden. I think he is the key. So we will see. We will see there. All right. Kerry Claiborne says, other than in the last minute against our junior varsity, they only had the ball on our side of the 50 one time, and that was after we finished after our talk. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Kerry Claiborne says, they only had the ball on our side of the 50 one time. Really? Are you talking about the second half or the whole game? Other than in the last minute against our junior varsity, this is Kerry Claiborne, Buford fan. He says they only had the ball, meaning Valdosta only had the ball on our side of the 50 one time. That was after we fumbled the opening kickoff of the second half. Great day in the morning, man. Are you serious? That's the stat of the night right there. That is unbelievable. I need to timestamp that one for Anna. Okay, so all right, so we got that done. We'll pull that little sound bite. What an interesting sound bite that is, by the way. Goodness gracious. All right. Alan Clanton state championship picks. So here's Alan Clanton giving his state championship picks. I'll see if I agree with him or not. Bowden over Lincoln. Yes. Toombs over Worth. No. Carver Columbus over Hateville. Of course. Sandy Creek over Jefferson. Pass. I'll come back to it. Creekside over Benedictine. Yeah. Look. I don't know, man. There's a couple of teams, I don't know if anybody can possibly beat them. Creekside is, I mean, they score 100 points and they give up nothing. And yes, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not by much. All right, let's see here. We got TCC beats Roswell in the semis. It's kind of hard to pick against TCC, but I don't know yet. I mean, you cannot measure the heart of some of these teams, and that's one thing I like about Roswell, I'll be honest with you. I love the heart in Roswell. I love that team is playing to the personality of their coach. And, of course, I'm talking about Jonathan J.T. Thompson at Roswell. 100%. I love it. Okay. So, excuse me, guys. I'm trying to get some last second food here. Stephen K. Wynn, where have you been, Stephen K. Wynn? Lee County extraordinaire fan. Congratulations, Worth County. Indeed, that was a good win for them. And it's good to see you come out and give props where props are due, Stephen. All right, Austin A.B. Butler, my man, the Rome man is in the house. What's up, Austin? What do we owe thee? Austin A.B. Butler checking in from Floyd County, I believe. Let's see where you at. Austin, the stage is set. Gainesville at Rome. This will be an incredible hostile environment with the mix of Hall and Fame. Let's see. Where you at here? All right, Austin A.B. Butler, the stage is set. Gainesville at Rome. Be an incredibly hostile environment with the mix of the Hall and Floyd counties. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Didn't think about that. Yeah, I'll save it. Got something I was going to say, but I'll save it for a rainy day. It's one of those comments. All right. Oh, man. Kerry Claiborne taking the shot. Kerry Claiborne says, and Valdosta fans, by the way, are the worst! Exclamation point, exclamation point. He says, why are you sitting on the visitor side? I knew this was going to get him. So Kerry had a problem. There's a lot of people from the Valdosta that are fans of Valdosta that go over and sit on the visitor side. And I don't know why they do that. I don't know. I have no idea why they do that. Got to be a reason, right? Okay. So Kerry was talking about the Valdosta fans. Says, yeah, they are the worst. Why are you sitting on the visitor side? Mind-boggling or mind-mugging folks and talking smack the whole game. Go on and get back over to your side. Oh, man. Ouch. Man, I'm hoping you're out of Valdosta by now, Kerry. You don't want to get caught, man. All right. Get caught on some of these comments, by the way. Clash of the Red Devil in the Bend, says Jordan Duke. Absolutely it is. Kerry Claiborne says the reason those Valdosta fans are sitting over there on the visitor side is to start trouble. I don't know, man. It could be. It certainly could be. All right, so as we take a look at every one of the classifications. All right, let's take a look real quick. All right, so we got A Division I, right? We'll start we'll start A Division II, actually. That's the first one that comes up. So A Division II. So, well, look at there. They already got them updated. So we got Lincoln County, Bowden. I'm going to go. Let's do this together right here. We'll do Phil's Pick 6 on the air together, and I'll let some of you guys pick with me. How about that? This is a first. Okay. So you should feel grateful. All right, so let's take a look at it, guys. So what do you think? So let's talk about Lincoln County Bowden. Class A. We're going to do this together, okay? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take the first three who give me your picks in every classification, along with me. All right, Class A Division II. I'm going to go with Bowden to defeat Lincoln County. And I'm going to go with 35-31. All right. So now, what do you guys think? Armand Rashad, what's up, my man? Armand Rashad is in the house. What's up, Armand? Armand is a friend, and he's a photographer with Larry Godwin's gang. Okay. Armand Rashad, it's great to see you too, my brother. All right. So 11:30. We still got 30 minutes left to go in the show. You guys going to stick with me? Where are the diehards here? It's usually the ones that'll stick around until we take it up to midnight. All right. So it's good to see you again, Armand, as well. By the way, Kerry Claiborne says none of the other schools that we play do that, meaning the people come and visit, sit on the visitor side. I thought everybody does that. Kerry. Maybe we'll double check that, Kerry. I think a lot of teams schools do that. Okay, so Class A Division II. Again, going to do my picks here live on the air. If you want to jump in here with me, go ahead. I'll let some of you guys pick the games with me. Ranks Swanigan. Gainesville checking in. Man, you Gainesville fans have got to be pumped up, right? And I don't blame you. Come on in, guys, and let's celebrate together. Absolutely. All right. So, Class A, Division II. Going to go with Bowden. And again, I'm going to go with Bowden 35-31. Okay. How about Class A, Division I? I had said that it was going to be Worth County to win, and I believe Toombs County was going to win, and they both have. So here we go. We're going to set up this Worth County, Toombs County mega matchup in Class A Division I. So what do you guys think about that one? I'm going to go with Worth. Look, I love both these teams. I think it is the year of the repeat. I know that would mean favoring Toombs, but hard for me to pick against Jeff Hammond, special coach. You know, look, I talked to Rush Pros for the show tonight. I told you we went 9:30 to 10 o'clock with him. Look, Rush said, hey, you know, this ain't for babies anymore. Yeah, if you want to win the state title, it's all hands on deck. So, Class A, Division I, there is no tomorrow. This is it. I'm going with Worth County in that one. All right, now let's go to Class A. No, we're done with A. By the way, I've said this before. I'll be so glad we get out of the A, D2, A, D1. It'll just be A next year. All right. Guys, don't forget, too, one thing that we're going to have fun looking forward to this off season. Remember, this is going to be the setting of new schedules. Okay? So all the teams are going to be setting up new football schedules, home and away, all new. So can you imagine how much fun that's going to be? I mean, number one, it's just going to be fun looking at the schedules. You know, and talking about high school football, it's going to be great. All right. And I don't think that we're going to be any exception. I mean, we're going to be looking forward to that. You're going to be right on top of it. And again, we'll talk about some of the games coming in this season. Now, that's the regular season, but again, it will be the first year of the new cycle. Remember, all teams enter a 2-year cycle as far as their schedule is concerned. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be talking a lot about that as schedules begin to be released. Now, in the meantime, Class AA, remember, it's the new Class 2A. All right. So in Class 2A, we've talked about this one. I mean, come on. Hateville Charter has done a good job this year, but come on, guys. Nobody's going to touch Carver Columbus. Nobody's going to touch Carver. That's one of the reasons I hated that Sumter was put out tonight. I think they would have given a very good chance to win, but and of course I'm talking about Sumter. They only lost by a point, and that was penetration. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see now if Bowden's going to have to take it. Carver is going to have to take it over Hateville to go back to back. So Hateville Charter, I'm taking Hateville Charter over Carver. No, I'm going for Carver Columbus in Class AA. All right, so we go now to 3A. And again, no repeat because we had Calhoun was upset in the brackets, or in the playoffs, I should say. So they're out. All right, Jefferson trying to get back on top, going up against Sandy Creek, the Patriots. That's going to be a tough one there. Sandy Creek, Jefferson. Who do you have? I'm going to go with Jefferson. That's AAA. All right, so that's going to bring us to 4A. Who do you have? And guys, let me get your picks. I want to hear, and I can go back and see who you guys have picked for your state champion. Ranks Swanigan, by the way, Niblett Coach of the Year, certainly in the running, for sure. Okay, so let's go with 4A now, guys. And we are going to have, by the way, how about the return of Danny Britt and Benedictine and Creekside. As excited as I am for Benedictine to be back in the state final. Yeah, this is another, Creekside has just been, it's like men against boys. It's been, I don't know how else to put it. Do you guys think that the Benedictine can really stand with Creekside? I think they can. I'm just saying, it looks like Creekside has just been blowing everybody out. But you know what? I'm going to go with the underdog in this one. Kind of hard to say that Benedictine's an underdog, right? Okay. So I'm going to go again in an upset in 4A Benedictine, although I know it's a stretch because, man, this team, Creekside, looks... I don't think anybody's talking enough about Creekside, guys. I'll be honest with you. They roll, literally steamroll over everybody. Never have I ever seen anything like that. Ever. Kerry Claiborne is again reminding me how to say Benedictine, not Benedictine. All right, so Benedictine, says Kerry Claiborne. You got it. By the way, Kerry, where are you guys at? What is this is like Santa Claus. We're tracking the we're tracking the Buford fan bus, which is heading back, making the long trip up to Gwinnett County. So, Kerry Claiborne, where exactly is the Buford fan bus at? All right, here we go. So, well, you got a few of you guys hanging on. I love it. All right. So, Kerry Claiborne, you want to take a shot at this? Anybody else want to take a shot at this? Again, welcoming your picks as I do my picks live here on the air. Yeah, I'm going to go with Benedictine. Just, again, somebody's got to be Creekside, right? Love Danny Britt, by the way. If you got, this guy is salt of the earth, man. He just tells it like it is. He's just a good dude. Good dude. All right. So now we go to the all important 5A. So first, again, now, although the other semifinals were tonight, semifinals in 5A will be played on Thursday, and we're going to have, as we know now, Gainesville has defeated Hughes in a shocker, to be honest with you. So it looks like everything that's happened with Gainesville, it has reignited the fire with Gainesville. They are set, they're ready to go, and you got to love it. But now, Gainesville not going to have a lot of time to get past the big win, as they now have got to go in and got to play Rome. So it's going to be Gainesville and Rome in one of the semifinals. And then you got Thomas County Central and Roswell in the other. All right, so let's talk about this one. If you guys remember, was it 2 years ago, Roswell goes down to the Jackets' Nest and upsets Thomas County Central in their backyard. Now, I ask you, what's the difference between this year and that year's team? And some people may say, well, Phil, it's 2 years ago. I hear you. I got it. Actually, I guess it'd be closer to 3 years, right? Since we're getting close to January 2026. But, so what do you think? Again, we're talking about 5A in the semifinals. So again, we've got to have these semifinals in 5A before we know who's going to the state championship game. So you've got Gainesville taking on Rome. Guys, I got to be honest with you. I think this is the year of John Reed. I think it's time for John Reed to get it done. I really believe that. And on the other side, I don't know, man. It's I'm torn. I'm torn. Listen, I do the Thomas County or the Roswell Coaches Show. So I don't know, guys. Right now, I'm going to go with Thomas County Central. But I'm not sending my ballot just yet, or my picks just yet. I'm going to wait a little bit. So this will be my first round. I am subject, though. These will not be the final. How about that? Okay. So what you're seeing now is my preliminary picks. How about that? Okay. In 6A. Well, it's not 5. No, it's not 6A, but it is 6A. I'm already in the next year, guys. Okay. So we had Buford rolling over Valdosta tonight. I got to be honest with you, I was surprised at the point differential. I thought it would be a little closer game. I had told Kerry Claiborne a little bit about, what I thought was going to happen. I thought it would be a little closer. Just checking to see, or Kerry Claiborne says they're an 8L. Ooh, slow moving there, baby. Kerry Claiborne just passed the exit for Moultrie. Did Colquitt County win tonight? I love it. Oh, the humanity. Kenneth Fleming. Yeah, that was in 2022, talking about the trip from Roswell to Thomas County Central. I got you, buddy. All right. Buford, Carrollton. What do you guys think? Who's got it? All right, I'm going to go with man, you know what? I'm going to go with Buford. I think this is Buford's year. And I know that Joey King in Carrollton says, well, by golly, that's what we've been saying now for the past 4 or 5 years. I get it, brother. So I think, again, 1A Division II is going to be Bowden. I think 1A Division I is going to be Worth. I think 1A, or rather, AA Carver. AAA Jefferson. 4A is going to be Benedictine. 5A Thomas County Central, and 6A is Buford. Now let's look at private as we wind things up. What do you guys think about the private? And guys, what about this football season? Most exciting ever? I think it was. Look, I study it all the time. Yeah. So we'll see. All right. All right, so private, we've got Hebron Christian is absolutely on a roll. Here's the thing, too, you guys. We've got like these dominant schools that are emerging in every class. Creekside, Carver. Argument can be made for Thomas County Central in 5A. And then again in private, you got Hebron Christian going to go be going up against Calvary Day School. I'm going to go with Hebron Christian. So how many repeats do we have as we get ready to close things out? We've got Hebron Christian is a repeat. Let's see. Bowden would be a repeat. Carver would be a repeat. 1, 2. So I guess we would have 3 repeats if my predictions hold out correctly. So there it is. What do you guys think? Again, Michael Ward says if TCC wins Thursday, they will. Then, I don't know what she's saying here. They will drive, they will drive Saturday to. I'm not kidding. So let me try this again. Michael Ward, if TCC wins Thursday, they play Saturday for the state. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. You left out some words there, Michael, but I got you. Kerry Claiborne says, by golly, I'm going to that bus driver and I'm going to make a scene about stopping at Buc-ee's. Did Luke Nelson bring me a barbecue sandwich? I'd ask him to. Jane Harbin Cuppet, I'm sorry. I think the championship will be Gainesville versus Roswell, 5A, but I'm pulling for TCC. Well, that's interesting. Got them all in there, didn't you? All right. Looks like that's about the extent of things tonight. Anything else you guys want to talk about? We got about 10 minutes left. Actually, about 12 minutes left to go here in the show. As my man, we have about 20 people left in here, so let's take it to the very top. Ranks Swanigan. We are Niblett Coach of the Year. So what do you think about that? Benedictine, not Buc-ee's. Kerry Claiborne, man, I'm going to cause a scene if we don't stop at Buc-ee's. I get that. So it looks like you guys are going to be pulling back in, around 3:30-ish, 4 a.m.? Jane Harbin Cuppet says, I think the championship will be Gainesville versus Roswell 5A, but I'm pulling for TCC. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you, to be honest with you. Dwight LeBaron Ponjum, Parle. Congrats to Carrollton Trojans on the win. Back to the ship. Absolutely. Well, they did get it done, did they? All right, as we talk about, we talk a lot about the off-season stuff. So again, guys, one of the things to look forward to is going to be the schedules. And remember now the new playoff system this year, right? So let's see how the schedule makers approach that from the new postseason formula that we've got in determining playoff seeds. You guys follow me? So remember, we have the new system going into effect this year. It will basically have the point system. We'll do away with the top 4 teams in every classification going to the state playoffs. So we're not going to do let's say Region 1-6A or 1-7A, it's going to be called. Region 1-7A is not going to be, whomever the region whoever the region champs, they'll all still get rewarded. In fact, you're still your top four teams. Well, not really your top four teams. It's going to be the top teams in your classification. They're going to be rewarded first and foremost. So it's going to be interesting, and I like the new setup. By the way, I like it a lot. All right, checking out some of the comments here coming in. Michael Ward, I think Carrollton will beat Buford. Guys, what a great game that's going to be, right? He says, but Michael Ward says, I think Carrollton will beat Buford. Buford's defense is great, but I think the Carrollton offense will be the difference in the game. So he's saying basically the Carrollton's offense will be the difference in the game. Could be. Could very well be. Two well-coached teams, two well-put-together teams. I keep saying that, about just looking at some of these other comments coming in here. Kerry Claiborne says, region winners guaranteed 1 through 16 seed in the new format. That's correct. That is correct. What do you guys think about the new format? I like it. I know some of you maybe haven't looked that deeply into it. All right, any other comments, guys? We got about 8 minutes left to go in the show. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Dr. Kevin Collins, Houston Clinic, sponsoring our show. Can't do it without the doc. All right. Check out some of these last few comments coming in here, fellas and ladies. What's up, Deshaun Suggs? Carver, Columbus super fan. Yeah, have I had that ice cream on my face the whole time I've been talking? That's sad. Nothing like a little Haagen-Dazs on a Friday night. Anyway, what's up, Phil? Carver, Columbus, back-to-back champions, no doubt about it, brother. Been bragging about you all season, been bragging about you all night tonight. Deshaun Suggs says, Carver, Columbus, back-to-back champions. We had 3 touchdowns called back tonight. Score would have been 54-7. Now, I will give them that 1 touchdown. I hear you, buddy, for sure. So, again, guys at Carver playing just a completely dominant style of football for sure. Incredible. But, Deshaun, I hope you're doing well, man. And, again, it's like I've been saying, Deshaun, I think Carver's got I think they got one of the best. I think they have maybe the best overall team in the state. I'm talking about pure talent. I'm talking about you got to get an offensive piece to go in there, though. That's going to be the key. I think you know that, right? Deshaun Suggs. I had a number 10, A.J. Vincent. Vincent Cure's son hadn't gotten hurt, would be playing Sumter, but Hayfield, they're on the clock, irregardless. So, when did that happen, Deshaun? Did he get hurt? Shame on me for not knowing about that. All right, Kerry Claiborne says the formula needs tweaking. Talking about the new, PSR formula that will go into effect this upcoming next season. The formula needs tweaking. Lowndes would have been the number 2 seed this year if we were if we were using the formula this year. Remember, Kerry has been one of the more outspoken people on this, and it's kind of influenced some of the things I've been saying, which is a big if the temporary injunction, remember, just like it affected Gainesville, if the new formula would have been in effect, the playoff formula would have been in effect for this year, you would have had all Region 1-6A teams in the playoffs. Tift County would have been in. Richmond Hill would have been in. So you kind of get a sense there in just that one small isolated example of the impact and the difference in how our playoff situation may look. There's Luke Nelson. Luke, what's up, buddy? I've been wondering about you, man. Luke, I hope you didn't get that barbecue sandwich. Luke asked me today, he said, hey, man, I'm at Buc-ee's. You want me to get you anything? I come back about 8 minutes later. I said, yeah, man, if you're still around, give me that barbecue sandwich. I was going to go to the Valdosta game. I did not. Just had too much to do here with work and such. So I stayed back. But, hey, Luke, you and Kerry Claiborne, man, y'all did a great job. You brought the fans down here. The support paid off. And you guys saw a great game. How about that? So incredible day for a lot of football teams to the victory of the spoils, as I've been talking about quite a bit. So a good day if you are a Buford High School Wolf, for sure. All right, 11:56 to go. We got about 11:56. I'm sorry, we got about 4 minutes left to go in the show. Deshaun Suggs, if it was the 5th, we all be drunk. I got you. Luke Nelson says, great hospitality about Austin. Yeah, good folks here, man, for sure. But Luke, we'll have to meet some other time, my man. Luke really came up big for me, man. Had my back on an issue. Some deranged individual was continuously calling me out yesterday on a social media post. But you know what? That's why you have friends. That's why you have friends, for sure. Luke, what'd you think about the football game, man? How did Canaan do? Luke Nelson's son, Canaan, is a big-time linebacker for the Wolves. I know he's been battling, a nagging injury, and man, he does a good job stuffing up the run and getting to the passer. Real big part of that pass rush for the Wolves. But let us know about his night, Luke, and the overall top performers for Brunswick. You and Kerry Claiborne, I'll certainly take them. Yeah, I did see your post about the cruise, Deshaun. So Deshaun Suggs went on a cruise. He chronicled and really did a good job of displaying the whole time he was on the cruise. It got my interest. So I reached out to him and said, hey, man, I want to go on a cruise myself. So we're going to see what happens there. But I did see that, Deshaun. Appreciate that. All right, guys. We are done for this week. Remember, I'll be back with you. Excuse me. I'll be back with you on Monday at 5:30. We will talk about all the other stuff that's going on around the state. I will reach out and talk to you guys more on Monday about the Rush Probst interview. Again, we had a great time. Been a great night. High school football, the semifinals are in the books, except for one. We still got to get that one done. So, and what do you guys think? Is it going to go the way of Gainesville? Is it going to go the way of is Thomas County Central going to take care of business? Is Roswell going to take care of business? What do you guys think? Man, just looking at some of these scores tonight, I was surprised at some of the scores. So you get the winners tonight really flexing their muscle going into the state championship round, right? That's the way I look at it. Deshaun Suggs, Phil, will you be in Atlanta December 16th, 5 p.m.? Probably so. That, of course, the day, date, and time of kickoff for the Carver Columbus Tigers. Sean is a big time Carver fan for sure. All right, guys, we're done. 12 o'clock midnight. We better get out of here before we turn into a pumpkin. Guys, hope you have a great weekend. Go Dogs tomorrow. We'll be back Monday. Remember, Monday, 5:30 to 7 o'clock right here at ITG Next.